Let's bring in meteorologist Michael Estime live this morning in New York City. Michael, we're talking about Hurricane Melissa because it might have been hundreds of miles away, but our atmosphere very efficient at transporting moisture, and that's exactly what we saw yesterday. That was one of the things that stood out to me. What else stood out to you?
Yeah, Stephen and Marissa, good morning to you both. It was incredible to see literally that moisture stream from Melissa interacting with our boundary along the East Coast, and that is what just helped to super soak parts of not just, the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, but Marissa and Stephen, as you guys mentioned, what a tragic day yesterday, learning of at least 2 victims due to the flooding that we saw. That 39-year-old man, again, I can't even imagine being in your basement and unfortunately succumbing to the flooding that we saw yesterday. And when you talk about how much rain we picked up, by the way, in less than an hour, we picked up over an inch of rain. In fact, at LaGuardia Airport, it was just over an inch in 50 minutes. So a lot of rain in a condensed period of time, unfortunately, led to scenes like what you're seeing there. All throughout Brooklyn, we were seeing reports of literally cars submerged up to their wheel wells. There were transportation delays. We're talking 3 to 4 hour delays at all 3 major airports. So that's what happened yesterday. Most of that moisture now well up toward our north. On the back end of it, we talked about how this area of low pressure is actually going to strengthen, and as it does so, it's going to pump in some serious winds. We're talking wind advisories going into effect at lunchtime today, staying in effect until midnight tonight, and it happens to be Halloween evening, right? This is when the kiddos want to go trick-or-treating. Where we are right now, we're on the West Side Highway of Manhattan. We're right on the Hudson River, and you can see the river behind me is much more agitated, and you can notice that with the big old waves behind me. I have a little anemometer in my hand too, and we've been measuring the winds since this morning, and we started this morning with winds between 5 to 15 miles per hour. Those winds as of current are at 20 to 25 miles per hour sustained, gusting a little higher than that right on the water at times. And guys, we're expecting these gusts upwards of 45 to possibly even 50 miles per hour. So not just a problem for the trick-or-treaters, right? But also if you are going to be taking off, can you imagine taking off and landing at LaGuardia, JFK, or Newark Liberty International Airport with 40 to 50 mile per hour winds? Not just that, but also, as you know, when you have winds like that, it's not necessarily strong enough to bring down entire trees themselves, but certainly tree limbs onto power lines. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw a couple power spotty outages because of those winds this evening. Next big question is, all right, we're going to be fighting through the winds. When do these winds die down? That doesn't really happen until tomorrow afternoon. So Saturday afternoon, just in time for the New York City Marathon. I believe that's tomorrow. I need to double check, but I've certainly seen people preparing for it. It's Sunday rather, so at least by Sunday for the New York City Marathon, I think that things will be a lot more relaxed in terms of those winds. But guys, in the meantime, one last thing I want to talk about for 2 seconds. See those big beautiful buildings behind me? What sometimes happens in Manhattan is you get this squeeze play that takes place where the winds start rushing through these buildings, and it's that squeezing of the air that sends those winds at a much higher rate of speed, just meaning, guys, that channeling effect is going to cause some big-time hair issues if you have any dinner plans tonight. Just a heads up if you do plan on being out and about, not just here, but in the Northeast through this afternoon and this evening, because it will be windy at least through midnight into early Saturday morning. Guys?
I will agree with you, Michael, that they are beautiful buildings, but given what else we see in New York, I don't know if they're big. Are they big? I mean, they're
the buildings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones he just showed us. I'm just thinking the Empire State.
Yeah, there are taller. There are taller.
It's wild, though, Michael, in Manhattan. It's so true, that wind effect that happens. You get that funnel, and then especially when it becomes a west wind or a northwest wind.
Yeah, it can be vicious.
Feel the bite.
You know, Chicago also has similar instances where you get these big wind events where people have to brace themselves, right, for the strong wind. It's It can be scary.
It can be.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to feel later this afternoon. Glad you mentioned the peak wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Hopefully on Sunday for the marathon, the winds will be easing. It'll be cooler, but it's great for the runners.
Yeah.
Michael Estime, we got you all morning, so we'll be checking in again. Appreciate it. Thank you, Michael, in New York City this morning.